And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan, and joining me, Mr. Professor Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I just finished Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Like, finished it, said, okay, I'm done. Said, hey, I'm ready whenever you are. And you said, let's do this. I said, all right, let's go. Let's go. So if you guys don't know, I have never watched the Harry Potter movies. This is my first go around. Mr. Rapid Dave here is what you would call a Harry Potter connoisseur.
I just watched the movies. I don't know. I watched the movies, and that's all
And
I can
you've seen
say.
them like a million times.
I've seen them a bunch.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So here I am going through it. We've already done the Sorcerer's Stone, and now we're on to the Chamber of Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into this. First and foremost, Harry's moving on up. He's no longer under the stairs. He's in the that his cousin's second bedroom now. He's got his own room. You know, life is looking up, or so you think.
Yeah.
Like they still just keep just shitting on him. Like,
Whoa, sir.
what? No, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're having like a big client over, and they're like, you stay in here and don't you come out, don't you make a word, don't you make
Well,
a peep.
no. They look at it, and everybody tells where they
Yeah,
are, right? Where they're going to be. And he goes,
yeah,
"What about you?" He goes,
yeah,
"I'll be up in my room pretending I don't exist."
exactly.
He goes, "Right, you are." I was like,
That's
"Oh
right.
my god."
But yeah, and
You
then
see its reaction to Dobby though immediately. So Dobby's a great character throughout this whole thing.
Adobe he gets on my nerves.
Just the
Like
first one. The first, yeah, he'll be fine
like
after this.
I'm like, okay, Adobe, okay, I've heard this name before, and I'm watching. I'm like, what's this guy's deal?
He's a
Like
house
what?
elf.
Okay, okay. What's his deal though? Like
He likes
he
and
keeps
wants to take care of Harry Potter.
beating the living crap out of himself the entire time.
Oh,
Like
yeah, he's sitting there, stupid, go, boom, boom, and he's just sitting there banging his head into the wall and stuff like,
he,
"Will you sit down and shut up?" Then he drops
he's
that
like
kick on that lady.
Hedrig uh Junior. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. God bless.
Oh
How
god,
many times am I
yeah,
gonna hear somebody tell me that they shouldn't have said something, but they said it? Like, look, okay,
that goes away. That
you
goes away.
said it. But yeah,
He
so you
just
got
wants
that.
to.
He's warning Harry, don't go back to school.
It's not
They've got it
safe.
out for you. It's not safe for you. You're gonna die. Um, he's like, well, I've got to go.
Oh,
Like,
you back? Okay, you froze for a minute.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, you look like to me. You look like you froze. That's you freezing. No, we're fighting through this. But yeah, he pulls the letters out. And he's like, "Ha ha! Your friends didn't write you, but they did, and I have them all." And I mean, there was like 6 letters there. There wasn't a lot, okay, for the entire summer. I mean, come
I mean,
on.
how many letters are you writing to your friends during the summer? Back when we used to actually write letters, we're both at the age where we used to write letters to people, friends you might have met at like camp or, hockey, clubs or whatever, right? Any type of camp or any type of thing you did during the summer months or even go to the beach. You wrote letters, but yeah, I mean, I'd say one every other week or every 3 weeks, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be writing like a ton. So,
But I mean, but they know his situation though too. Like he's going back to a hostile situation where
mhm,
he's living under the stairs and he's treated like crap and they don't feed him and they don't do any of this stuff, right? So they know
yeah,
he's going through a bad situation. They're writing him and he's not responding.
yeah.
So
Then you get the Weasleys show up,
and
bust him out.
yeah, they come in kicking, ripping so first
You,
Dobby throws
you,
a cake on this lady.
you're gonna
And
have to
so they're like,
redo it.
"You're not going back to school at all." And he's like, "You don't like the kid. Why are you keeping him there?" Again,
That
I'm
that
back
is
on
my
this.
whole thing. Yeah,
Like, you don't want the kid, but you keep refusing to send him to school. And like when he's breaking out, you're like jumping out the window to try and stop him from going.
yeah.
Like to me, I'm just like, bye. See you
Right?
later.
Wouldn't you be counting down the days to get the kid out of the house? Like the first day of school should be the first thing on your mind. You're ready for it. You're so excited.
Like that's how I am after the summer. Like I'm ready to, and my kids just go to school for a little bit. Like they're only there for during the day. But me, I'm dude, first day of school tomorrow. You excited as I am? I'm so excited. No, dude's jumping out a window to try and stop them. All right.
Yeah.
But and then they break them out, and it just so happens to be Harry Potter's birthday. Like,
Well, I think the first day of school or when the day they always go back is always Harry's
yeah,
birthday or whatever. You know, it's always the first day they have to head on down to, you know, Hogwarts or the train station that is.
yeah. And they get back and they all get in trouble except for Harry. Not you, Harry. You're a good kid. My kids are jerks, but you're good.
The mom, Mrs. Weasley, she's a pistol, man, the entire time. She lays down the law.
Yeah, and so they go back to school. Draco's just a jerk, right? Like,
He actually stops kind of being a jerk and he turns into a complete pea. Like
like
he is the biggest whip of the entire series. And when it gets to the end, you're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, nothing changed. He's just a jerk, and he's just like a big old chicken ass. That he's his father is the same thing. You'll see it later in the other movies.
yeah, and so he's just kind of a jerk. And then you got this whole situation where they run into Draco's parent, his dad, and stuff like that, and they're talking about Voldemort, whatever. And Harry's out there calling him a murderer. I'm like, whoa, buddy. I've only seen one person murder somebody, and that's you. Okay,
He pumped the
like,
brake. Pumped the brake.
come on, buddy. Did you just forget what you just did? You straight up murdered a guy last movie. Okay, so and you got rewarded for it. So
10 points, Gryffindor.
let's pump the brakes there a little bit.
I mean,
But
it's a true
yeah,
statement. He was nothing more than a murderer, and that's what he says. So, and that's what Voldemort was.
yeah, and it's and then they miss the bus or the
Train.
train. They miss the train, so they got to drive the car there, and they get in trouble for driving the car there.
Mhm.
And they're talking to Dumbledore, and he's like, you guys are. It's not Dumbledore. It's the
Snape.
lady that
Oh,
that they get in trouble with that tells them what they're gonna do. Like you're in trouble. You're gonna have detention, and we're writing letters to your families. To which
okay.
Harry's just like, "Phew, dodged a bullet on that one.
They
Like
don't answer mail from Hogwarts. Hogwarts.
like okay, yeah, right, my family. That's cool. I'm okay with it. And and are the Malfoys, are they just pretty much like Nazis? Like the equivalent? Like
Why?
they
Because
only
they don't like
believe
gingers.
well, they don't they only believe that the
Yeah.
purebred wizards and witches should be there. And if you have any muggle in your blood at all and you're not pure, you should go. And hey, if a snake just so happens to kill you between now and then, not my problem.
Yeah, they're absolute jerks in the first couple movies, and they actually continue the trend as you'll see. But yeah, they're part of the group. There's wizards out there that believe that everybody should be pureblood that would be
Mhm.
taught at Hogwarts. And yeah, there's that thing always comes up every movie. Mixed blood, mud blood, things like that. So a lot of derogatory terms.
There is there's a lot, and it was mudblood
Mud
that
blood.
they call, and they call her Hermione. She's a mudblood.
Hermione,
Yeah, that's what I said. But I'll tell you, the one guy who called something right during this whole movie is Felch. Okay,
the janitor.
he because when his cat's all frozen and stuff like that, but he's not sure if his cat's he thinks his cat's dead.
Petrified.
He started yelling at Harry Potter, calling him a murderer. He's the only one that knows the truth. Like maybe he didn't kill that cat, but he did kill somebody.
Oh my god. There's a lot more going on in the movie. This one actually, to me, is better than the first one. You have a little bit more action towards the end, obviously, but you got this giant snake. You can
The
get more
Giants, yeah,
information about Voldemort. That they smuggled in Tom Riddle's diary to Ginny Weasley,
yep,
so it elaborates a lot more. It opens the story up. to me is a leaps and bounds more. Now, don't get me wrong, the first one, the Sorcerer's Stone's fine for an entry movie. It's to get you into the movie, you know what I mean, to the set. But I think this one was a lot better. I'd like this one, but the first two, I'm not. I'll watch the rest of them more than I do the first two, just
Yeah,
because they're kids, you know what I mean? And like the older ones, they're teenagers, and then they're older, having to deal with real life stuff and whatnot. Well, I mean, for them, but just have to deal with life, right? Right
right.
now, they, whatever. But
Yeah.
all, what'd you think of this movie?
All in all, this one's definitely better than the first one. Um, but they're still just like so. Like at the end, everything happens right, and they're in Dumbledore's office after he's been removed. He got removed, but then they brought him back. They took away Hagrid. He went to jail for doing nothing, for just being there, because the rumor is he opened up the Chamber of Secrets the first time. So if it's open again, it has to be him. So you got to go to jail. Oh,
They arrest people however they want, willy nilly style, man. They don't really
right.
care. They'll throw your ass in the slammer quicker than anything, with no evidence, no nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all. And they're sitting there in Dumbledore's office. He's telling Harry and Ron, you guys have broken every rule in this school. You've done so much. You've done enough to be kicked out of the school 12 times. But I'm going to give you guys special rewards. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Ron gets one, I think, for playing the best. Was it the best round of chess? Is that this one, or is that the
That
last
was
one?
the first one. The
That was
best round the best round of wizard chess that anybody's ever seen, but nobody was there to see it.
no one saw it. You do get a bit of, I forgot Dumbledore's bird's name. Fox. Fox comes in, saves the day, kind of,
Yeah.
delivers the sword of Gryffindor. Also, Harry thinks he's gonna die. He took a little bit of venom on the
Yep.
arm as he killed a snake, a giant snake, killed a giant basilisk, and but Fox's tears, they had, you know, the
Healing
healing
powers.
properties, the healing
Phoenixes have
powers, and
healing powers.
so it brought him back. He's
And
back, baby.
he killed Tom's journal, his little diary, to get rid of him because his memory was inside of there,
Mhm.
which you get the reveal that Tom is Voldemort. Ooh. Because if you a anagram or whatever they're called, if you put his name up there and you just switch the words around, bam, now I'm Voldemort.
But did you hear when he said, he goes, I wasn't going to take my filthy muggle father's name or whatever.
Right.
So he's not even a full blood. I mean, it's like mind blowing, right? Like he he's sitting there preaching all these people about how we need pure blood and this and that, yada yada yada, and he's a mud himself.
Exactly. Exactly. He's just like Harry Potter. He's a hypocrite. Harry's calling people murderers. He's saying to get rid of these guys. It's just, it is what it is. And
What
then
do you
you
think
have
of what's his name, Gilderoy? I like to call him.
so
Uh,
I
he
actually
looked,
thought he was the bad guy at first. Because he's kind of putting off those vibes. He's just like, oh, I'll take care of you, Harry. Then he gets rid of all of his bones. Like,
in
what
his
the heck?
arm.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's doing that. And he's pure blood because he's descendant from Merlin. He talks about that, but no, he's just a moron, is what he is.
Well, he's good with mind erasing,
Yeah,
spells and stuff like that. So he'll be going along with a journey or for a journey, but then the other guy does all the work and he just zaps his ass at the last second. It's like, well, I did it.
it,
Kenobi, that's what I was trying to think of. It's Kenobi's stunt double.
and then you have old Harry Potter pulls the old okey doke on Malfoy and gives him back the journal with a sock in it, and then he gives it to Dobby, who serves, and he's like, "Oh, Master gave me a sock," and now he's free. And
It's very important that he is free because in the upcoming episodes he plays roles, significant roles, and you'll learn to love him.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, he's not like that in every other one,
I
but
don't know, man.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know,
man.
man.
You need to make sure you clip that. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. And then my last thing is like, so everything's done. They're getting ready to have their feast and all that, and then in strolls old Hagrid, and he comes and thanks Harry and Ron and Hermione and all that, and then everybody starts giving him a standing ovation. What the hell did he do?
He didn't do that. He didn't
He
open the
didn't.
Chamber of Secrets.
He
I
didn't
think
do
he was happy
anything.
They're just happy to have him back.
He went to
Beloved
jail,
beloved
and then he
teacher
got
that
out.
gets exonerated, false charges.
But the first movie and through this movie, nobody likes him except for the three: Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Who doesn't like Hagrid?
Nobody does. I didn't see anybody else talk to him. Who shows up at his house? They always show up at his house. Hey, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? He's always over at his house on his own. He's not there on campus, hanging out with the kids and stuff like that. The only person that likes him is Dumbledore on campus. Everyone else thinks he's a moron.
God. All right. So this is the time where I ask you, is Professor Snape a good guy?
This movie changed nothing. He plays such a small role in it. You'd forget he was in it if I hadn't just watched it, right?
Okay.
He has a little duel with the was it Gilderoy?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's there to point fingers and accuse people from time to time, but he's a non-factor in this movie. You could have not had him in this movie and it wouldn't have affected it at all.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask every time, so that's why. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay. Check.
Yeah,
Good
he's creepy as hell and he's weird, but
creepy. He is weird.
He's a wizard. What do you expect?
Right? They're just not like normal. They're not normal people, as far as I'm concerned.
None of them are normal.
So, which one you got up next? Is that Order of the Phoenix, or is it no?
What's part 3? You're the expert here, sir.
You know what? I'll tell you, because I get confused between like the Phoenix. Oh, it's Prisoner of Azkaban. That's right.
Okay.
So that's what you need. You got Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and then you get into Half-Blood Prince is my favorite. So
is this one about Hagrid's time while he was locked up?
No, it's
flashback
not.
movie to while he was locked up.
It introduces a new character, but you don't know really what's going on. Just like everything else, it does have a lot of twists and turns, but definitely pay attention. If like you were dialed in on this one, you're going to be dialed in on the following ones because they are good. The rest are pretty good.
I've been dialed in on both of them so far. These of all the reviews that we've done, I have more notes on these than I have anything else. Like it's a full page every single time of notes on this, and we're going to update the Harry Potter murder toll, and it's still at 1. We're not going to count the snake, so the murder toll is still at 1.
Jesus.
But he's leading the way, being the only one who's murdered somebody. So,
oh my God. All right. But yeah, I love it. Go out and watch it for sure. I'm glad that you're watching them because they're quite good. And as you progress through the series, if you want to call it a series, you're going to like them more and more.
Yeah. But I've had fun with the first 2. Let's keep the train rolling. The part number 3 will be out next Friday. It's going to be Fanboy Fridays where we're going to be watching movies that the fanboys love. And the first series we're tackling is Harry Potter. After this, we might be gunning for you, Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I've seen it before, but it's been like 15 years, I think, since I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
Give it a revisit. Maybe some Star Trek. We'll come after you guys. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll have some fun, though. But hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment. All your comments. Good comments, bad comments, between comments, snide remarks. We accept them all. And if you have any suggestions, go ahead and send an email over to parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. But Rapid Dave, thanks for joining me. Until next time, deuces.